Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cleveland Cavaliers post-game report tonight. The Cavaliers took on the San Antonio Spurs, who were 24-8 on the season. 23-8 on the season, and they were 11-3 at home coming into the game. The Cavaliers had been struggling. They lost on Christmas Day. They got blown out and somewhat humiliated on Saturday night. And Kenny Atkinson took them to task in the media Saturday night during the press conference. And something must have worked. Let me remind you that this Sentinel Sports Extra post-game report is brought to you by CT Roofing and Power Wash, the official roofer of the Lake County Sentinel. 440-278-0506 to get a free estimate on your roof, siding, or getting your deck fixed or power washed. So tonight, the Cavaliers go down to San Antonio, to the Frost Bank Center, take on the 23-8 Spurs with Victor Wembanyama, and stun the NBA. They stun them. Cavs look like they couldn't beat their own mother Saturday night in a basketball game. So they go down to San Antonio tonight, and they beat the Spurs on their home floor, giving the Spurs only their fourth loss of the season at home. And, I've argued with many people, including my own son, about Jared Allen. Jared Allen isn't physical enough. Jared Allen cannot handle bigger physical centers. Well, tonight, Jared Allen took on the tallest player in the NBA, a dominating force in Victor Wembanyama, right? He is. He's dominant. He dominates other centers. What happened tonight? Victor Wembanyama did not dominate Jared Allen. Jared Allen won the battle. The Cavs did something tonight that they hadn't been doing all year, that people ignore. A friend of mine who's a football coach always says people are critical of offense, but they never talk about defense because they don't understand it. And it's true with the Cavs. Fans do not understand that the Cavs have been losing this year because they have played terrible defense. Tonight, they played really good defense. When you hold an NBA team, when you hold an NBA team to 101 points in a game, now you have accomplished something. When you hold an NBA team to 46 points and a half, 23 points in each quarter, in the third and fourth quarter, you have done something. When a team's high quarter now is 29 points, you have done something. The Cavaliers did all of those things tonight. They played great defense tonight. Jared Allen did his job. Jared Allen shut people up tonight. He did. The Cavs' big men won this game tonight. The Cavs big men won this game tonight. The Cavs were out-rebounded tonight, 52-47, but they got big rebounds when it mattered. They got big rebounds in the second half. They out-rebounded the Spurs in the second half, 25-23. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in the second half had 9 rebounds combined. Victor Wembanyama had 7. I'm sure people coming into this game thought that he would out-rebound them both. He did not. Jared Allen finished with a game high. He was the leading scorer in the game, people. He was the leading scorer in the game against maybe the best big man in the league, maybe second to Jokic. Let's say that. A dominating force. And Jared Allen was up to the challenge. Jared Allen is not the problem on this team. I think people need to shut up about that. He played a great game tonight when it mattered. This team could have fallen to 500. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley played great games. Donovan Mitchell, he only scored 10 points tonight, and the Cavs still won. Jalen Tyson had 3 big threes. Craig Porter, who only had 2 points, but he played phenomenal when he was in there for his 15 minutes. You know, I mean, Dean Wade, again, he's another underappreciated player. He had 10 points tonight and 5 boards. People don't understand this. They only look at stats. And that's all they go by. But it's other contributions. It was contributions from everybody who took the floor tonight. From Naquan Tomlin to Donovan Mitchell to Jared Allen to Evan Mobley to Jalen Tyson to Craig Porter to DeAndre Hunter, even Sam Merrill, who I'm not a huge fan of. They all had contributions tonight. And that's how this team won. And that's how a team wins. It was a great win tonight for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was a kind of win they should be getting more often. And maybe this will be the win that spurs this team to better things. You know, they play the Suns on Wednesday. That is Wednesday, yes. They play the Suns on Wednesday at 3:30 at Rocket Arena. And then they play the Nuggets. I believe it's the Nuggets after that, right? Yes, the Nuggets on Friday, who could possibly be without Nikola Jokic because he injured his knee tonight. Hopefully he's okay because he's a great player. So, but, you know, maybe they could do something here, you know. I didn't have a lot of hope going into this game, although I did tell my son on the phone earlier that I felt that they were going to go into San Antonio and win tonight. I don't know why. On my show, I said they could possibly go 0-4 this week. Earlier today, I said that. Well, they're not going 0-4. I mean, they still could go 1-3, but tonight could be that win that spurs the team to win more games in a row. Like it could turn the season around right there tonight in San Antonio. You know what I mean? So I thought that it's a really good win tonight. And it was a win that needed to be talked about. A lot of times most of the time, I do not do post-game reports after road games, but tonight was one of those games that had to be talked about, that needed to be talked about. They had 29 assists tonight. 29. They shot great from the free throw line, 18 of 20. That's something they've improved on lately. People need to understand that too. So that's a really good thing. They only shot only shot 43%, but they held the Spurs to 39%. Bingo! They won the game. You know, they didn't play wild tonight either. They played pretty controlled, which they'd been playing wild lately, and it was not happening. They turned the ball over only 14 times tonight, and the Spurs got 16 points. The Cavs forced 18 Spur turnovers and turned that into 20 points. Okay? I mean, the Cavs won the battle in the paint with Victor Wembanyama on the other team. They did, 48-46. Second chance points were very close tonight. There wasn't a huge gap. The Spurs got that 17-15, but it was close. Cavs got the fast break points tonight. They never do that. 17-10. Bench points, very close, 36-35 in favor of the Spurs. You know, it was the Cavs played the kind of game they can play. They've now won 7 in a row against the Spurs. How about that? I did not think, you know, I had that feeling earlier that they could win, but, you know, once the game began, I was like, yeah, they're not winning this game. But they won the game. They played really well in the second half. You know, they played really well in the second half. They outscored the Spurs 64-46 in the second half. You know, it was crazy. I did have belief at the end of the third quarter when the Cavs were only down what was that, 76, 55, when they were down 78-76 at the end of 3, I thought to myself, yeah, they might win this game. And, you know, it was very refreshing to see. You know, look, covering a team, you know, you get invested. I'm not going to lie. You know, obviously I'm not going to sit there and cheer and clap and stuff during, you know, when I'm covering the game, a home game. But you're invested. You want to write about a win. You want to write about positive things. This year hasn't exactly been that kind of year. But tonight was, we got to mark this on the calendar, December 29th. What was the Cavs at the end of the year when we look at it? What was the Cavs record after starting December 29th? And I have a feeling it's going to be really good. Because you saw flashes of it in New York. They took a step back in Houston. But tonight, they look like the team they could be every night. You know, so Lonzo Ball didn't play tonight. I'm telling you something. I have been a critic of Lonzo Ball. I just don't think he's what he used to be. They were better without him tonight. I mean, you don't like to say that, but they were better without Lonzo Ball tonight. Other guys played, you know, and that's going to end up being a trade that didn't work out. I know they had to get rid of money. They got rid of money when they traded Okoro, but they pretty much got nothing. Ball is just not what he used to be. And, you know, nothing against him as a person. I just don't think it's there anymore. So, he didn't play tonight, and they played a good game, and they won. You know, they won by 12 points over a really good team. You know, one of the best up-and-coming teams in the Western Conference, which is a hard conference. Okay? And they're 2-0 against them this year. No excuses tonight. People say, well, they didn't have Wemby. They didn't have Castle. Well, they had them all tonight. And De'Aaron Fox, they had them all. They had them all. The Cavs beat them with everybody, all of their guys. So it's a really good win for the Cavs tonight, and hopefully this propels them into, more wins. They're now 18-16 on the year, 34 games in. Still got 48 left. So they're 18-16, yeah, 34 in, they got 48 left. Yeah. So this could turn around quick, people. It could, to where it looked like it was a lost season, a terrible season. You finish the month well on Wednesday. You have a good month of January. This whole thing's turned around and it looks completely different heading into the All-Star break and then into the playoffs. So do I not want to overreact to one win? Yeah, but this is the kind of win that can turn a season around. So that's going to be it for tonight, though. I'll see you on Wednesday from Rocket Arena. And the game's at 3:30 against the Suns. So everybody have a good night and enjoy the Cavs win. Again, they win 113-101 over the San Antonio Spurs. And Jared Allen dominates Victor Wembanyama.